प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
All of us together raising the hands.
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Yeah. Again, I thank all of you for coming for today's session. So today, like every other session, we are discussing from this divine song, which is Bhagavad Gita. And we dedicate this presentation to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And only because of his efforts and his mercy that today we are able to discuss this divine book. And even today we are able to understand this divine book and be able to apply it in our lives so that we can lead a peaceful and happy life. So yeah, today's topic is a very very interesting topic. And we see like many of us most of the time, so we go through the kind of trouble that our own mind gives us. So if you ask someone, so what is the worst troublemaker you ever know, so very easy to get an answer that it's the mind that is the most worst troublemaker. And you would have observed that any decision we want to take in life, so how many of you have noticed that there will be usually two voices in head, like something good and something against it. We don't even know, right, from where these voices are coming. So yeah, today we'll discuss about all these topics: what mind is, how mind troubles us, and what are these voices that we hear. So what is the activities of the mind? Is there something that is above mind that can help us take control of the mind? And then we will also discuss a few practices that will, from Bhagavad Gita itself, that will help us lead a regulated mind and have a regulated lifestyle by controlling our mind. So we'll get started. So the nature of the mind, we see how I was telling that mind always puts a question whenever, especially when we want to do some good things. So mind always puts a question. Whenever we are doing something bad, mind supports us so much, but whenever we are on the right track, so mind always puts us into question that this seems difficult, correct? So even though it is an easy thing, so mind tricks us in various ways. And we see how we see the explanation of the mind, what is mind, from Bhagavad Gita. So you can all repeat this shloka after me. Bhumirapo analo vayu kammano buddhireva cha ahankara ityame dhinna prakritirashtadha. Anybody can read loudly?
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these 8 constitute my separated material energies.
Yeah. So here again Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita 7.4. So we see, what is Bhumi? Earth. Apa? Water. You can just follow the translation. Anala? Fire. And Vayu? Air. And Kham is ether. Then next level, that is subtle. That is Mana, Buddhi, and then Ahankara. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay, now if we see the order, we see ether. Ether is basically the space, the sound. Actually, it's via the ether the sound propagates. So whatever the sound frequency we are able to hear, it's because it's propagating through the ether. So ether is activating how many senses? One sense. That is the sense of hearing. Now if we come reverse, what is the other thing? Air. Now air, definitely like sound propagates through the air. Along with that, there is another quality of the air. What is that? We can feel the air, correct? So the sense of touch also gets activated. Now we'll go one more level. So now it will be easy for you to guess. So then it comes fire. So fire, already it has the sound is there. Definitely it has the sense of touch. We don't have to think much. What else? We can vision. We can see the fire. So the third sense also gets added. So next we have water. So we can hear the sound of water, we can feel the water, and then we can see the water. And what else gets added? Taste. Definitely, right? Krishna says that I am the taste of the water. So if when we are thirsty, there is nothing else that can quench thirst except like the water. Then next is earth. So earth, definitely it has all these four. Along with that, it has the fifth sense, smell. You have noticed, right, during the rainy season, how wonderful is the divine smell of Mother Nature Earth. So it's so wonderful. So in this way we see, in the hierarchy, like the grosser the element, the higher the senses it activates. Basically, the grosser the earth is, so 5 senses it is activating. And the more and more subtler it goes on, like when we come up what is this, air, fire, air, then ether. So ether activates only one sense. So the subtler it goes, it activates just one sense, or even subtler it goes, it activates no sense. That subtler element is the mind that we are discussing about. And this mind, actually we see, like now we were discussing, no, that earth, water, you can note down this hierarchy: earth, water, fire, air and ether. This is the gross. And then subtler, in the subtler, first is mind, above mind, intelligence, above intelligence, this false ego. And there is something above all these things. What is that? That is spirit soul. So if I ask you, this mind that we have, is it a material? Is it material or is it spiritual? How many of you say it is spiritual? Mix of both. You made khichdi. How many of you say it's material? See, you can you can read the translation itself. Mind, intelligence and false ego. Continue. All together.
These 8 constitute my separated
Material energies. So, mind, intelligence and false ego, these also come under material energies only. So the only thing that is spirit is our spiritual soul. Rest, all these 8 elements, everything, it's emanating from Krishna. So Krishna says that these are all my separated material energies. And you can remember that soul is the only spiritual identity that we have. And next, we also get to know that this mind that we have, so like initially also we were discussing that how the mind has like lot of qualities. That is, the difference between the mind and intelligence is that the mind, it completely works on the basis of likes and dislikes. Actually, intelligence is like the superior power that discriminates between what is right and what is wrong. But the mind is like a crying baby. It doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. It just wants it. That's it. So the mind works completely on the basis of what is likes and what it likes and what is dislikes. And if you see what we accept and what we reject things also, it is again completely based on the mind. Like so many times we just like it and we accept it. We don't even have a reason as of why we like it or why we accept it. And also we see that mind is a very, very crazy entity. Like, Srila Prabhupada's Guru's father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has sung this song that Manaje Pagala Mora. So he's telling, my mind is mad. So definitely all our mind is just mad. We say no, that like you would have heard a statement, no, that my mind is going crazy. So we see this, any living entity, especially the humans, we have some experience of mind, but we have almost no experience of the soul. You would never have heard somebody telling that, oh, my soul is going crazy, my soul stopped working. They say, no, my mind stopped working, but they never say my soul stopped working. So in this way we see that how mind is a subtler entity, but it works on the basis of likes and dislikes, and intelligence is something higher than mind in the hierarchy, and intelligence is very direct. It doesn't know any diplomacy. It is very direct. It tells you what is like right, what has to be done. It doesn't even care if it is like you like it or you don't like it. It always says yes. You have to wake up early. You just have to wake. That last week he had been to the doctor, where the doctor has warned him that one more gulab jamun, that's it, you have to double your dose of insulin. So instead of increasing the pain, it's better you take control. So intelligence is very direct. It's warning us that you take this action, otherwise very difficult for you. But mind, it's such a cheater that it says that nothing, no problem, one gulab jamun, that's it. And this mind is also, like, if you see the friend and enemy concept also. So if we give a definition, who is our friend? Somebody who helps us in making us happy, or who helps us in making our life easier, or helps us in a sense gratification. They are our friends. Somebody who is giving me little trouble. No, it's all because of the impressions of the past life. So we were discussing till now about how we have impressions from the present life by exposing ourselves to the experiences that we go through around us, and that depends on to some extent upon us. But these are the impressions on our past life, and also the impression the soul gets at the time of birth. So you would be surprised to know about this science. Again, all these are very clearly explained in Srimad Bhagavad Purana. It's explained that how when a man and a woman unites, their consciousness depends on the consciousness of the kid that is born. So, let's say I was giving you two examples. One example, the kid is very stubborn, very ziddy. We see here, let's say the husband and wife, when they unite, they have some passionate quality when they unite, or they have seen some very fighting kind of a movie, or they have seen some scenes that has very deep effect on their mind, and then they unite, and definitely the soul that is getting attracted in the womb of the mother, you can imagine what kind of demoniac soul would get attracted. See, when parents come and when they ask, my kid is acting so crazy, I am very decent, my husband is very decent, I don't even know why my kid is acting so crazy. The kid doesn't listen to anyone at all. So it's not that the parents are unfortunate that the kid is born like that. Definitely no. It's the way that the parents have united, in that way itself the kid is born. It's a very simple science. And if you see, for example, in our devotee community also, we have seen kids. The kids that are born, they are very peaceful, very calm. And when the kid cries also, when we chant then Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and when we chant some Krishna Kirtans, the kid becomes very happy. It comes to its normal state. And also, as and when the kid grows up, we see that the kid is never troublesome to the parents. Very often the kid is troublesome to the parents. Otherwise, the kid takes care of his own work, and then the kids learn also things very easily. And you see, such kids are, in general, they are beneficial to the society. But if you say the demoniac kids that are grown, this is again on a simpler level. Let's say all these the parents would have seen some murder scenes and things like that. You cannot even think what kind of a soul they would have attracted. It's completely a science. And the soul they would have attracted, then the kid grows and he becomes a murderer. There is no second thought in thinking there's no murderer in my family. Why have I gotten a kid who is a murderer? Definitely, you may behave as if you don't know, but how I said, the nature doesn't stop working just because you are ignorant. See, why I am sharing you all these things? Because see, it definitely, the way we get to know these things, it definitely helps us. At least we know that we shouldn't be of trouble to anyone, at least to the society. So as a woman, what we can do is we can beget the kids in the right consciousness, so that they don't trouble us first. And second thing is they don't trouble to the society, give trouble to the society. And if you see these devotee kids, I was telling, so when they unite, so they chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for certain hours. And then even when the mother is carrying, the mother reads Bhagavad Gita very frequently, the mother hears Bhagavatam, the mother hears Krishna Kirtan, she sings Krishna Kirtan, she keeps her consciousness so right. And when the child that is born, that is a divine child with divine consciousness. If you see, like, there are many kids who are learning harmonium also. Actually, when I am learning harmonium, I find it so difficult to pick even one simple, like, dhun. But those kids, like this, they come, the next session, they are like dot on it. How? Because they have such wonderful samskaras. They, like, the soul that is attracted in that womb of that devotee, you can imagine such divine soul who has left, like, their bhakti in some level, and they're just here to just continue their bhakti, finish their bhakti. Let's say they're 90%, their bhakti is done. Now just they want to finish their 10% and go back. That's it. For that they are here. And what all we can do is, yeah, we can all be in the right consciousness, so that, like, give them the right samskaras right from the time when the, like, male and female unite. And in Shastra, this is called Garbhadan Sanskar. So you can remember this word also. When the devotees, especially when those devotees who do Garbhadan Sanskar, we see their kids are like very divinely than in general when they beget kids, just like that. And we also see how now that the kid is born, again the exposure to the kids that we are giving, that is also matters. See, when these kids, they are growing up, when we generally ask them the question, what do you want to become? What do they say? I want to become like a teacher, or I want to become a doctor. They won't say I want to become a fashion designer out of nowhere. They won't say that I want to become something that we have not heard, because whatever they see, that impressions are there on their mind. They have seen a teacher, and some person out of nowhere, he has seen a person like driving a lorry. Especially my brother, he used to see the person driving the lorry, and he was very fascinated about it. Anybody would ask him, what do you want to do? I want to just ride a lorry. That's it, because that is what they have seen. And that, you can imagine, what you see is so much impression it has. Not just with the kids, it does also, but I'm giving the examples of the kids because that is the time when they, like, imbibe things and start following the things. That is the age when they imbibe things. And if you see these, like, modern day mothers who take them to like, who go to pub and bar and things like that, we cannot even imagine what kind of samskaras they're giving to the kid. So one samskara is when they're, like, uniting, second samskara is when they're begetting, that is when the child is in the womb, and third samskara is when the child is growing up. If at all these three times, if we are careful, we can, like, give a wonderful gem to the society, which will not just be a wonderful living entity who helps us, but that living entity, that soul, that divine soul can even help the society in all possible ways. Also, we see this mind, like, these are few things that we made note, that how mind tricks us. Like, few examples I'll give. This, like, happens with all of us. Let's say we don't know anything about stocks, and then we are sitting, like, during our lunchtime, we are sitting with our colleague, and the colleague starts speaking that this stock, you know what happened, this stock, the price rose by 10%, and then I got so much profit. And then our ears become big, because money is honey, you see. wherever there is the topics of money, all our senses becomes very active. And now we get to know, we ask him what stock is it, and then we, like, even though we are all satisfied with whatever we have received, okay, but because we have heard something from a third person, our mind starts thinking that yes, whatever happened to him can happen to you also. Come on, you can also try stock marketing. And then definitely it's again based on our karma, if we'll get that or not. If it doesn't get, then again we'll fall in anxiety. See, the stock market is just a game of anxiety. As it goes high, as it goes low, there is a lot of anxiety involved. And also we see a few other examples that I have written is about how this daily serials they usually watch, that also so much effect it has on the mind. Like, all these Sasu, Bhahu serials that used to come, if you see the relationship between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, it is actually a very nice relationship. But I would say that in all possible cases it is good. But when they see these serials, somehow in the depth of their mind, it will be there that, oh, even my, like, mother-in-law might be like this. She's not showing up. So we can see, like, everything, every single thing that we are exposed to, it has some or the other impact on our mind. And if you see the advertisement also, if you know the science of advertisements, so what advertisement does is, let's say they have a product, called chocolate. Now chocolate is like, the product goes to the kids, so first they will do a very in-depth study of the kids of certain age, and then they'll come up with these impressions, what impressions they can give via their advertisement, so that the product goes deep into them, that it'll make an impression in such a way that without that product they cannot live at all. Like you see, when the Kinder Joy came, you can imagine, like every kid wants Kinder Joy. There is like literally nothing in that Kinder Joy, but every kid wants that Kinder Joy. See, like I'm sharing these examples because these are examples which you can relate. And also like even the toothpaste example, it comes like aapki toothpaste mein namak hai they ask. Earlier they used to just mix the charcoal and salt and then they used to brush the teeth. The same charcoal, the same like salt, it's there, and when we go to the like superstore, the first thing we search is where is the salt, where is the charcoal. Automatically, every one of us might not do, but in general, that's the tendency of the humans to just see what they have, like whatever impression they have, they go looking for it. And also, you can see like even the shops earlier, how the shops used to be like, on one side we asked them to give me this soap, that soap, and they used to just bring it from inside and whatever they have, they used to give. But now these supermarkets and things like that, we go around and whatever impressions we have, and these impressions are not like very visible, they are very deep, very unknowingly, we don't even know. How many of you have noticed that we go to DMart to buy 5 things, we buy 50 things and come. We don't even know that, and sometimes we realize that I don't even know why I brought this. So in the process of saving some 100 rupees, we spend some 500 rupees extra and we come. So this is happening because automatically we are getting programmed to all these things without our own knowledge. And these programming, see why I am explaining you, because these programming have a very deep value when it comes to mind control. See, in all these cases you can question yourself, who is the controller? The mind is controlling you. Without your own control, you're falling trap for something. Like another gross example is, you see the big hoardings, right? Like your dream home comes true, like that, like so many like big hoardings. And then there's a poor person who cannot even afford to earn, then he takes a loan and then he buys that house, and throughout his life he'll just pay that loan, and by the time he gets to enjoy that house, he'll be almost dead. And if you see, I don't know how many of you are aware that these bank companies that which they know, they make a huge profit by the money which is not even like which is not having any owner. So these people who are like earning day and night, we see most of the people are very miserly. If you see, like when we had been to like various shops for Janmashtami collection, because it is said in the Shastras that even if we give 1 rupee to Krishna, Krishna will never forgive that. Like he will never forget that. He will always remember that we have given him that 1 rupee out of like whatever we have, and he'll be very grateful to us. And because of which, like there is a high possibility that we come to bhakti, we take bhakti very seriously. So if people cannot come and attend sessions like this, at least they can give some portion of their earnings, whatever they have. So when devotees used to go to shops, some people used to give rice, some people used to give, like you would have seen, no, whole day prasadam we had distributed during the Janmashtami. We see poorest of the poor people, like they give in bulk, like they give like thousands, 5,000s, 10,000s, like when they get to know that. And see this is happening since like every year, correct? So they would have also come to the program, they know that it's genuine, whatever amount Lakshmi they are giving, we are using it in Annadan properly, so they know it and they give. And if you see, like same people here only around who are like very rich, who are earning very sufficiently, when we ask them donation, they give 50 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees. See, we get to know that what is the nature of the man, like miser. The nature is very miserly, especially when it comes to giving to the God. And here we see like these people who earn and then who save and things like that. Out of nowhere, when their death happens, actually they're so miserly that they have not even informed to their own like kids and wife that where they have kept which wealth. And that wealth is like unheard, and that belongs to whom now? It belongs to the bank. So bank sees for a certain period of time, and when it has no ownership, so the bank is becoming richer this way. So why I'm telling you these things, because we see most of the times like we are being programmed in such a way that you just do things in a way that it will make your future better, or you just think about the future so much that you like forget to live about the past. And especially all our advertisements and all these hoardings and everything is in such a way that it tricks the mind. See, here are some of the things that I mentioned. And like you would have heard about the photo editors, correct? So any examples, like any of you like editing photos or videos, you would have some examples, no? Like Canva is a good photo editor, some things like that. So InShot is a very good video editor. But the best photo editor, the best video editor award goes to Mind. You can see, like, even you would have also noticed, no? Even when we were kids also, and even now when we go to a movie and then when we come back and when we sleep, we replace the hero or heroine and then we replace that face exactly with our face, and then we are just very happy with it. And even we also see how Mind is such a like video editor, like photo editor, that Mind sees a gold, Mind sees a mountain, and what it becomes? Golden mountain. So Mind has a very, very wonderful ways of mixing and matching things and then presenting it, which doesn't even exist. Golden mountain, which doesn't even exist. This is the actual, this is the nature of the mind. So we see how, till now we saw that how mind is like such a culprit. See, whatever I'm telling you, definitely it's not a rocket science, it's a simple thing. I'm just trying to make you aware how our mind is working these days, because if we want to solve the problem, first of all we have to recognize that we are in problem. For now, we don't even know that our mind is the like a robber stealer who is right there sitting in the next house and who is troubling us. So now we'll see like the acronym for the mind, which this is the acronym that is like impacting our impressions. How impressions has impact on our mind, we see by these like acronym. You can remember this acronym, and then we'll also discuss about the solution. So M means magnifies the problem. I, infinite thoughts. N, never in present. D, distraction, and S, stress and anxiety. So we'll take a couple of minutes for all these things. So magnifies the problem. So I don't have to explain much about these things. We all would have experienced. So nothing critical will be there, but the mind's duty is to zoom it to such an extent that even the whole day is good and something small is bad, and mind just ponders about that small thing, and it goes to such an extent that sometimes people even go to depression. That thing would not have had happened itself, it happened at all. So you see all these motivational speakers and all, they ask, no, so does it matter in 5 hours, in 5 days, in 5 years? Then stop thinking like that. Why are they giving those examples? Because mind has the ability to like stretch things. Even it cannot stretch, but still mind wants to stretch, because that's the nature of the mind. Something like which we have to give importance to, like this spirituality and things like that, it wants to just neglect and keep it aside, because it takes all the control of the mind and gives it in the wrong hand. But something that is like bad and that's actually hurting us, the mind wants to give full control to it. Like if you see I was just figuring out what is this depression. Actually, this depression means having no goal. When somebody doesn't have any goal, so that time any small thing that happens in their life, so basically they don't know, like that small thing doesn't even have an effect in our life. So, but when we have a big goal, that's why we say, especially when it comes to spiritualists, we have a very big goal when it comes to human form of life, and you hardly see any spiritualist falling into depression, because spiritualist, the goal is clear, the path is clear, and the process is clear. So anything small that comes in picture, like these pebbles, the spiritualists know this is like a time pass, it will come and go. But in general, the one who is not practicing spirituality, he doesn't even know about the end goal, and what he does, any stones thrown at him, instead of picking and making the way, he's just like falling for that stones. And we also see like how especially if you like during these COVID times, you would have noticed, no, that like see, COVID, and everybody knew that it could be treated, but so many people were worried that oxygen cylinders are not available, beds are not available, and so many things, and making the problems bigger. Like we heard like case study in Belgaum in Karnataka. The wife, she got during the COVID. The wife, she got affected by COVID, and when the news came to the husband got heart attack and he died there only. The wife who got COVID, she recovered, she came back. But you see, the husband, he's like stuck in awe with the because of the news, and he's dead. You see, like even if you see the statistics again, this was in 2015, and 56 lakh 67. Like this many people were already suffering in depression, and now we are in 2024. So we cannot even imagine like what rate of depression maybe. And if you see, like again on a practical level, any foreigners, if you see, no, they would be consulting these psychiatrists every next day, and they're very proud of it also. If you ask them like where are you going, they say that yes, we are going to psychiatrist. But if you see, like the point I want to make here is these foreigners, they don't have any knowledge about the Vedic culture or Vedic scriptures, and the only sole basis of their mental strength is what they go through, the experiences that they have, the exposure that they have. But if you see, like these people who are very strong in the Vedic culture, like earlier also I was discussing, right, if you remember, our grandparents, they didn't even know the word depression. They didn't even know all these anxiety panic attacks and things like that. So our Vedic culture, it had given us a strong root, because of which our base was so much like firm. We would never be shaken. Any big things also, like in our last session I was discussing that even if the prime person of the team, like of the house, even if he expires due to some reason, the family would still sustain, and very boldly it would sustain. But nowadays we see simple things we cannot take up. Like if you see, like examples, even like so many students committing suicide. See, all these last benches, they don't commit suicide. You all know. If you ask them, they say that 36. Oh my God, 1 mark I got extra. I'm so happy. Or these people who commit suicides, they are those who are like just 1 mark, because of 1 mark they lost some first position, second position, and all these things like that. So, like the point here is that mind just magnifies simple things, and it makes things worse. And even like how I was explaining this, during COVID time, even there was one statistics. I guess in the further slides I have added that statistics. So in that statistics, actually it's mentioned that like 1.47 crores something were affected by COVID, but 1.5 crores were affected by the mental disorders, and they were dying because of the heart attacks and things like that. Because this mind, no, actually even if you go to and when you go to any Ayurvedic doctor also, when we get medicines and they say that okay, this medicine works slowly, but you have to have faith in it, they say. And recently when I had taken one of my friend's grandmother to the doctor, so she's 82 years old, and the thing that doctor told her was like, it was so surprising. He said that if in your mind, if you think that this will cure me, the rate of your curing will be high. Because actual problem is in our mind. We go with the thinking that this Ayurveda doesn't work. We go with the thinking that this thing I cannot achieve. And you know, recently I'm also going through this book called as Art of Concentration. It's written by one of our devotee community from IIT. His name is Amal Das. So in that it was mentioned that anything, any skill in this world, we can achieve it provided we give it proper focus and attention. And there is the talent and all these things, what is that, skill and all, it definitely matters, but the majority of the problem is that we are very here and there, we are letting our mind goes here and there. And our mind, currently also we know that how our mind worries about such simple things. Like I have put a worry chart here, so you can all follow this worry chart. So whenever your mind goes through the worry, so you can ask, do you have a problem? No. No problem, no worries. End of the story. Do you have a problem? Yes, on the right side. Can you do something about it? The spiritualist asking. No. you cannot do something about it, you have no control over it, there is no point in worrying about it. End of the story. Can you do something about it? Yes, I can do something about it. Yes, do it. End of the story. So if you see, our life is so simple actually, but we make it complicated. And when it comes to a spiritualist, like anybody who has read Bhagavad Gita and understood these few simple concepts like karma and things like that, he is very fixed, he is very peaceful. Because like if you see, like one example is that how these in general people worry, people try their level best to do things that are out of our control, but the spiritualist, he knows what's in my control, and he's very firmly fixed that yes, if I do this, I'll achieve this, and he doesn't want to stress over at all. Something that we cannot control, if we put all our efforts in that, and then if we don't reach it, that's when all these things comes, all these suicide, depression and all these things comes, because you are already trying something out of which is not at all in your control. And second thing is, you are putting all your efforts in not fixing the problem, but in getting out of that boundary. So you can imagine like how this chart is saying that just worrying about something which you have no control about, it's like loss of time. This is a video. I don't know if it will play. I'll just try.
अरे विवेक, I want to talk to you something. Yes. चलो अभी तो तुम निकलो, मंडे को बात करते हैं, ओके? पता नहीं सर को क्या बात करनी, कहीं मेरा प्रोजेक्ट तो नहीं चेंज हो रहा, कहीं मेरा रिव्यू तो नहीं है मंडे को, बॉस को कहीं पता तो नहीं लग गया कि मैं अपनी मंथली पीपीटी अपने इंटर्न से बनवा रहा हूँ। सर, हाँ, सर आप कह रहे थे कुछ ज़रूरी बात करनी है। अरे हाँ, मैं कह रहा था तुम शादी कब कर रहे हो, उम्र निकली जा रही है। सर ये बात करनी थी आपको? हाँ यही कह रहा था, चलो चाय पी जाते हैं।
See, we see that definitely we would have also gone through this, correct? Something simple, like this is what I was trying to say that. See, because videos make more impact, that's why we have added this video. See that how sometimes like some thoughts are like infinite, like it's uncontrolled at all. One after other we start linking things and we make up things which actually doesn't exist at all. So our like our next acronym I stands for infinite uncontrolled thoughts. Yes. So we see like just this example, how mind started with like it heard that yes, manager wants to ask one question, and then hundreds of things came into our mind. And even like on a simple example, when we get a notification also, like we are working deeply and then we get a notification, even our mind starts thinking. Let's say we are thinking already about we were expecting a message from our friend or something. Is this message from our friend, or this person might be sending, that person might be sending? Our mind will cook up a whole story. Like how I said, our mind is like the best video editor, the best photo editor you can ever see. And see, connecting things and dragging things is still okay, but if all these connected things, it leads to a negative mindset, no, that is not okay. If you see like how I was discussing that the suicide rate, especially these days, it is so much, because for this, like the smallest of the small things, mind broods over so much, and it connects one thing to another, and finally it will end up in negative thoughts. And in unfortunate cases, these like negative thoughts will end up in all these like deadly cases like suicides and things like that. And see, this is again a fact that I'm showing. India lost more people to suicide than coronavirus in 2020. So in that year, like 1.53 lakhs due to like this thing, what is that, mental problems, and then 1.47 lakhs due to 1.49 lakhs due to COVID. So we cannot even imagine what kind of like disorder that our country is going through. In general, even other countries also. Now, the next topic that is how our mind is never in the present. So what did we discuss till now? MI we discussed. M stands for magnifying the problem. I stands for infinite uncontrolled thoughts, and N stands for never in the present. So again, I don't have to give like more emphasis on this. Mind always has the tendency to jump between past and futures. Like even now, see, it's been almost like I usually keep the timer. It's almost 40 minutes since you're here. Is there anybody who can tell that my mind didn't go outside at all? My mind is all here, properly hearing to the mind control session which Mataji is prepared and is giving. No, you see that how the nature of the mind is like so worse that the mind doesn't even know how to be in present. And we have also been programmed this way. Definitely our samskaras are impacting our present nature a lot, but we have also been programmed this way. And you see like all these corporate professionals and everyone, they come and ask, my productivity is too less, how to increase the productivity? We all have this question, correct? So even the students, they say that I'm reading this topic from so long, but I have read this topic for 10 times, it's not going in my head. You have read 10 times, but where was your mind when you read it 10 times? Your mind would have gone to 100 places. And also like coders and those who write programs and things like that. So when some difficult coding program comes, so what do they say? Arey, my mind stopped working. I cannot think of any solution. Mind is not something to stop. Come on. So the solution, the simplest solution, which again the Shastra gives, is to be in the present. Just by being in the present, you can experience the magic. Like if you see about the productivity also that I was telling, in my life only, at least I have experienced that in any simple task that we take, I see that others take so much time in doing that. Now I can take like little less time than that. See, I don't have any special talent, like how I was discussing earlier. I don't have special talent, special skill. Just that because of all these spiritual practices, my mind is more in the present nowadays, and the same work that needs like actually 10 minutes, people are doing it in half an hour, 1 hour. Like how I said, that same topic, that student could have finished that topic 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, when we were students also, we would have experienced this, correct? Simple topic. Then next day morning when we get up in fresh mind, when we read the topic, just 5 minutes, it's gone straight inside. We don't even want to repeat that topic twice. So we see the simple hack for productivity is again just being in the present. But so many like the programming that is happening, so much we say no that we are advanced. What kind of advancement is this? At every moment we are only thinking about either past or future. Every like definitely there is advancement. All these mobiles and all these laptops that we have, there is some kind of advancement. But where is that advancement leading to? It is leading to losing our peace of mind. And also, yeah, we say that how we can experience the bliss of being in the present. Just by being in the present and doing whatever you are doing, the same things, you can experience bliss. Like for example, the simple act of eating food. So most of the times, either we are watching something and eating food, either we are talking, either we are like here and there. We sometimes when we are eating, we don't even know when our food got empty. We will be just like transferring the extra food, and then we will be just going on hogging. Will not even our mind will not even let us know that yes, your food is over and you are done with it. See, this is how like unconsciously we are like we are getting trained in such a way that our mind is not being present. And this experiencing the bliss, if you see, even I have experienced that when I sit to take prasadam, especially when nobody is around. See, whenever there are people around, we also talk and have. And then nobody around, and then I get to eat prasadam on my own. And then every morsel of food, and I'm very conscious. Then when I honor that food, knowing that that morsel of prasadam is tasted by the lotus lips of Krishna. And prasadam already has divine taste, and when I am being conscious, you can imagine the satisfaction that we get. In general also, we see when we do anything, any good activity, when we do it consciously, small things, it gives us so much bliss, so much will be in the present. But like the next concept that we are coming to, M-I-N, and now D is distraction. How we are always distracted, like how I said, you all are seeing like me right now, but you all would have like 100 thoughts running in your mind. What is this Mataji is telling the same thing again and again, stressing so much? What is being done in Prasadam? After going back, how much work I have to complete? Monday, my boss is going to ask this thing. Even you are present here, but definitely you don't have to answer me. I trust you all that you're listening to me. But definitely our mind has like 100 thoughts that are going back and forth, and we are also traveling. Like mind is the best time traveler also, no? That even the mind can visit Taj Mahal 10 times and then construct a new Taj Mahal and come back also by the time the class is over. So we see how like it's in this world it's very difficult to be focused. And like how I was telling that in that Art of Concentration book I was reading, that just like simple tips he has given, like that book is written based on Bhagavad Gita itself. How first thing is that we don't even know that we are distracted. Like I was giving the example, no, that you are deeply working and then one notification comes and you think, oh, you were supposed to get a message from your friend, let's say, and you just open to see that message, and in no time you don't even know where you went, which app you have landed. Either you would have watched some 100 shorts or YouTube shorts, or either you would have scrolled Insta, or even in the WhatsApp you have randomly gone through. You have wasted your 2-3 hours of time without even knowing that you have wasted unconsciously. You see, this is the way this modern advancement is programming us, and I don't even call it advancement because it is degrading us. Basically, it's putting us down. See, the same time which we were conscious, knowing we could have done something productive, and that Prabhuji he gives like 2-3 tips which I can remember is, one is paying attention to your attention. He says that first thing is we don't even know that where our attention is going. We think that this is okay, and when we start keeping a distraction tracker or something like that, we get to know just 2-3 days you can check. Even I tried this. I used to think like who will keep. Then in my like WhatsApp itself I have like the self group that we have, in that whenever I used to get distracted I used to just type, and I realized that I didn't even know that I'm getting distracted for these silly things. So it's a very mindful practice, and like majorly is I want to tell is mind nature is distractive, and today's so-called advancement, it is putting us into more and more distraction. It is not at all helping us, at least to lead a peaceful life. So we see how like all of these together, like the mind's ways, it is leading us to stress and anxiety. So the last is mind's S is stress and anxiety. So like in general also you see we go around and look things around, and the mind has a very nice nature to compare whatever situation we are in to the situation next person in. Let's say we are very satisfied with whatever we have, still we want to know what this person has, what that person has. And like appraisal is the best time you can check this. Like even though you get an appraisal, you are not very much like wondering about it. You want to know what my other colleague is getting and why is he getting more or why is he getting less. So this tendency of comparison is there again because of the nature of the mind. And definitely all these that we discussed, 5 things. What are the 5 things that we discussed? M, magnifying the problem. I, infinite uncontrolled thoughts. N, never in the present. D, distraction. And S, stress and anxiety. So this stress and anxiety is due to internal, like how I said, like mind's nature is to compare, and then it goes around and then it finds. See, for a spiritualist, there is nothing called stress and anxiety, because like how I was discussing, if you are there in the karma session, actually it's very clear that if we are destined to get it, we will get it. Let's say we are destined to get this promotion or get this job, then we will get it. Like for example, I can give my friend's example itself. I don't know if she'll watch this video online, but still I'll take her example. Her name is Shraddha. We are engineering friends, and she was working in a company, and she was very stressful. The company was paying her like sufficient enough for a fresher, but she was very stressed. And then her boss also was troubling her so much. Weekend she used to work, midnight she used to work. Some of you might relate now also. And then she decided that this is it, I'll switch the job. And then like when she came to ask me for the suggestion, so I said, at that point of time, I told her that it's your duty to put a boundary. So switching the job doesn't work. But again, mind's nature, we see 100 people switching, so we also want to switch. She switched. Actually, you know what is mentioned in the Shastras? It's mentioned that, let's say you have to suffer your whatever troubles you are going through this much. even though no matter how much you change the lifestyle or change the environment, basically not lifestyle, environment around you, if you are meant to go through that phase, you have to go through that phase. Similarly, she switched, and soon, no time, she has the same amount of work, she has the same manager, same kind of manager who is troublesome, and even now she's like struggling with the same workload. She's not able to sleep, she's not even able to sleep, and she's going through some health issues also because of that. And like, definitely, see, I'm not asking you not to switch or not to put your efforts. See, putting efforts is one end, but shastrically understanding that, you would have heard the shloka, no? Karmanye vadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. In spiritual, like when we take up to this devotional service, that is the thing, that we know this is the control, this is the area of control we have. We do that, we work on that area of the control. Rest, it doesn't matter for us, because we know that we are very happy, very satisfied knowing that this is my area of control, this much I did. Now getting a promotion, if I am working focusedly, like how I said, all these spiritual practices that I am doing, if it is ending, like if it is helping me in like having a prolonged focus time, definitely I'll work efficiently, I'll work productively, and definitely that will lead me to promotion. I don't have to worry about what second person is going through, or what will happen to me also. But a person who doesn't have any Vedic background, any background about these Bhagavad Gita shlokas, even though he knows that it's out of my control, he goes and then tries like more than what is needed. What will happen? Frustration, correct? Because it's not working. First of all, it's out of your control. Because some things we have to accept. Yes, this is out of my control. We have to put our efforts, but we have to accept things. The problem about all these depressions and suicides and these things is that people don't accept things. This is our area, and this much only we can do. They don't accept things. And now, with all these things, I want to ask: mind is a friend or enemy? Both. So we see, definitely I don't want to put so much pressure that you start thinking this so much Mataji told. So we will read again from Bhagavad Gita itself, you can repeat. Bandhuratma manastasya enatmaivatmanajita अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुवत्. Anybody can read the translation? Anybody can read?
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who is failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy.
So you can see the definition it's given, like the friend and enemy, very clear definition. See, Bhagavad Gita doesn't confuse you, it gives you very straight definitions. What it's mentioned, if we have conquered the mind is the best of the friends, but if we have failed to do so, mind will be the greatest enemy. So currently, what is the state of our mind? Is our mind controlled? No, currently it's in the state of enemy, but slowly we can see how we can make mind our best friend. And see, again, this is the uncontrolled mind. So we see, like one other thing I want to tell is that how mind's nature, especially when we want to do something good for us, mind's nature is to just put an obstruction to it. Like for example, simple thing, like I always give this example to my friend Shraddha herself, that 24 hours you have, like one round of chanting, she's chanting 4 rounds now, but I usually, initial days I used to give her example that one round of chanting, how much time it takes? It takes hardly 7 minutes, 8 minutes. But morning we wake up and then we say that, okay, let me just get fresh and chant. And then we say that, let me have breakfast and chant. And then we say that, on the commute, let me chant. Then we say that, okay, in the office, I'll book a room and I'll chant. And then this way we see evening I'll chant, night I'll chant. This way we see mind says that, no, that's okay, tomorrow you can chant. And that tomorrow never comes. So actually, if you see, I always used to tell to her, we have so many enemies externally. Why to create an enemy internally also? Because already all are giving us trouble. See, like even from the mosquitoes till other living entities, everybody wants to give us trouble. Why simply we have to create troubles for ourselves? When Krishna is, in simple words, he's telling that just this is the solution. See, you all are here, and you all are hearing also that how chanting is effective week after week. And even after that, if you're not taking up to chanting, then definitely mind is your worst enemy. I can write in video, because mind doesn't want you to improve. You can only ask yourself, let your intelligence overpower mind and ask yourself, what is the loss in chanting 7 minutes? Even if you see here and there, 7 minutes is gone. Correct? And that one round of chanting, how long it takes? Like how much effort it takes? That too, early morning if you chant, you see throughout the day your consciousness will be so high and you will be in so much bliss that everything else which you thought is difficult will go smoothly like a butter. But still we want to be an enemy. And you can see, like we want to create like demons for ourselves, which troubles us. And even these sessions also, like I see hardly few of you will come in time. So mind says that no problem, like we will go slowly anyway, or we will attend online. What is the problem? The problem is, see, we are not the losers. Like something helped us, we are coming and helping you. But because of your own mind, you are the ones who are suffering. You are the ones who will suffer. These are the reasons mind will give. But let's say you have some other program, mind will be like chuck, we'll get ready, and then we'll start moving. Because you see, mind knows that these shastric scriptural practices that we do, because of which the mind gives the control to the higher intelligence. Mind doesn't want to lose control. That's why it puts us in a situation where it gives us difficulty to practice these spiritual things. And we see this Arjuna is telling that Chanchala hi mana Krishna Pramati Bhalavadrida Tasyaham Nigraham Manye Bhayur Eva Sudushkara. Chanchala means flickering, and then Pramati means very ziddy, very stubborn, and then Bala means strong. He's telling about whom? He's telling about mind. Then he's also telling that how Drida means very determined. So mind is having all these qualities, and he's telling that I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. You can imagine, if they ask us to control wind, the turbulence, we cannot control. But Arjuna was such a great archer, using his archery power, he can control wind, but he is telling that I cannot control mind. So we can imagine like what kind of a strength this mind has. Definitely we can through our spiritual practices, we can slowly we can switch the sides of the mind, but in general we see the mind's mindset is to put us down. And you can see this is also a video. But her mind also acts just like this. See, after attending this session also, see, when you go back, you know what is right and what is wrong. Like how I was telling, anything. It's not just about chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita or anything. Anything that you go through in life, see, the scriptures, it gives us the intelligence to decide between right and wrong. And the intelligence comes up and it says, like initially I asked you that question of two voices coming up. Intelligence comes and says, hey, this is wrong. But again, even after knowing that what is right and what is wrong, our mind, it goes to the autopilot and then we succumb to the actions of the mind. So we see mind can drive us crazy, and this is our current situation. And see, this is again, I guess I would have shown this image to you earlier also, that this is from Katha Upanishad. Actually here it is the example of the chariot is given. What are the five? Okay, first of all, the chariot is compared to the body, and then the 5 horses are compared to the 5 senses, and the rope is the mind. Okay, you can remember these things, it will help you as a great analogy when you're going through difficult scenarios. And then who is holding the mind? That is the ropes. Intelligence is holding the ropes, and the one who is sitting, who is very scared, you can see, that is the soul. So we see whenever the mind is let loose, like whenever the ropes are let loose, the horses will go hither thither and we will face the jerk. Similarly, when we give the control to the mind, because see, in the hierarchy you saw, no, what was higher? Intelligence was higher. But let's say you give the control to your mind, which we are already giving, because of which we decided that, we concluded that mind is our enemy right now, because of which all the senses will pull us away, and then who is impacted at the end? Our soul, ourself, we are impacted. And this mind, like many of the times, mind unconsciously it takes the control over. Here also, like this is a very vivid example that we all know. So we have, let's say we have an important presentation and we want to get up. We have planned day, well, 5 o'clock if I get up, say 7 o'clock my breakfast will be over, 9 o'clock dot to dot planning, 10 o'clock I will reach, 11 o'clock my presentation. And you are about to wake up and then your mind says, you are very tired. In this tired state, how can you give the presentation? 5 minutes, it says. And then you snooze. And then again you try to wake up, again you snooze. This way your 1 hour is lost. Now all this time your mind is also giving you solutions. See, on the way when you're traveling you can make the presentation, or when you go back you can skip your breakfast today, you can do the presentation like this. Mind is a very, very good cheater. It can give 100 reasons for you not to come to the session, for you not to chant, for you not to wake up early, because it knows that little miss, it has to give the control to the intelligence, and like how I said, you will just end up saving yourself, which the mind doesn't want you to do. And also you see, in this way we see mind has many ways it is controlling us. I had written 2 other examples also. One was the example of the child, how I said, how the child was so stubborn. Mind is also very, very stubborn. And also we see many a times we know that we don't want to do it, but somehow out of some impulse we end up doing it, no matter how much we try to control. Correct? You would have observed. That's because we have given the control to intelligence. How many of you agree that our control is not at all with us right now? Or maybe sometimes it is with us and sometimes it is not with us. We all agree, correct? We all agree. Now let's see the solution. So this is again that shloka that I was mentioning, 3.42, about how the hierarchy, intelligence is higher than the mind, soul is higher than the intelligence. So I had given you 5 acronym minds for the how impressions impact the mind. Now 5 acronym for our solution. That is, we have to M stands for making the intelligence strong. Now how to make this intelligence strong? Again in the script, by all these spiritual practices, starting with scriptural study. You will be surprised to know that just by reading these shlokas, your the mind, what do you say, the intelligence becomes sharp like a sword. It's mentioned actually. By reading the scriptures, when we clearly understand what is right and what is wrong, our intelligence, which is blunt now, because of which mind is overpowering, correct? The intelligence becomes very sharp like a sword, and intelligence like a sword, you can know, when you put a sword in front of the neck, what to say about mind? Anybody will come to the senses and they'll agree that yes, I will do it. And see, all these classes also, if you see, I'm sure there are times of distraction, but here we sit together, and so many practices are there, chanting the shlokas together, chanting the prayers together, at least for a moment. For that moment we'll be in present, and then for that moment we are trying to read and hear the shastric references, which is again like a sword, how I said. And the best best way of sharpening the intelligence is mantra meditation. We have mantra meditation is such a boon, all glories to mantra meditation, because you see how mantra meditation can it can clean all these garbage, and automatically our mind comes to the present. If you see when we are chanting the mantras, we don't think, no, we are always in the present. What I usually say, chant and hear. So we chant and hear that mantra, we don't think about the previous mantra, we don't think about the next mantra. So we just think about that present mantra, and our focus is just in hearing. And when we practice this, imagine when we practice this for a longer time, that's why in general we insist to chant longer time, but at least to start with 7 minutes of practice is also like a big thing. And like how is it? It has no loss. So in this way, by scriptural study, especially Bhagavad Gita, especially it is said that more than hearing, reading Bhagavad Gita oneself, it like exactly sharpens the sword. So that's why we insist in reading Bhagavad Gita and involve in positive engagement. Like how I said, we already have so much of negative samskaras. We all agree. Maybe unknowingly or knowingly. Samskaras from past life, samskaras from this life. We would have gone through so many like exposure, uncontrollable exposures because of which we are already suffering. How we know we are suffering? Like how we know that it's not in our control and mind has become an enemy. So we can give it. This is the time when you like we can start removing the like red balls and we can start filling the white balls. So it's in our hand to do that. We cannot just go on removing things. We just have to replace things. So you can list down a set of activities that are of no use to you, and you can replace spiritual activities with it. And like how I said, there is no investment other than your time and the love and the emotion that you are giving. That is the investment, and the gain is like immense, 10 times, 100 times more, and you are the one who is getting like benefited. And again, this like any positive engagement, especially whenever you are going through this two voices thing. So it's not just about chanting, reading, anything that is good to you. When your intelligence says this time, step back and ensure that you do it, like that it's then just do it. So you do it. The more and more you train your muscle to go ahead and do good things, your muscle, like your mind will be trained enough to do good things automatically. Now it's in the wrong way, it's in the opposite way. Our mind is so much used to get distracted, do bad things, that it is in the autopilot mode without our control it's doing. But these things, very practical it is. Whenever you have dual voices, sit back and note down, and then you can just put little efforts to replace the negatives with the positives. And never trust the mind. Like how I was telling that mind is a very very big cheater. It says that no, like anyway you are tired, don't chant. Anyway Saturday is the only day you get, don't come. Anyway Bhagavad Gita, if you don't read, nothing will happen. If you don't do this good thing, nothing will happen. If you don't wake up early, good thing, nothing will happen. So mind always cheats, but it's very important. At least after showing you so many examples, at least you'll get to know that how we shouldn't trust the mind, but we should sharpen our intelligence. Then, like whenever you're especially whenever mind wants to go, you can just give a tight slap. And what is the slap? Slap is by doing it. Like mind says don't chant, chant. Give a slap and chant and do it. Mind says don't wake up early, snooze. You say yes, no more snooze. Give a slap, get up. And this way you can see this is subtle ways, like little things. Over a period of time when big things hit us like a rock, at that time these small things that you are doing now, by saying yes to good things and no to bad things, and by chastising your mind, all these things will definitely help. And then how can we delete previous impressions? Like you all know, mind is not like we can do some surgery and remove the garbage out of it. No, it's not possible. But by like how to clean up, again it is said that cheto darpana marjanam, how we can clean the impurities of the mind by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. See, like every time we used to discuss about this mantra meditation, I'll just take 2 minutes. How this mantra meditation is different from other meditations. So this, any other meditation you take, it just suppresses the feelings at that point of time. Like even I have gone through like simple meditations like breathing in, breathing out, anulom vilom, and also along with that this I don't know how many of you attended some happiness programs and things like that. It works. Definitely it has worked to me. I don't know about you all. It works, but it works only during that period. When you are breathing, at that time you are suppressing that impressions there, and once you stop doing the meditation, that's it. Like a spring, it bounces back. All the bad things again it comes up. In fact, it goes higher sometimes. You cannot even know. And even any meditation you take, it doesn't deal with the problem from the core. But when it comes to mantra meditation, because chanting of holy name is not different from being Krishna present himself, so Krishna enters through our ears and cleansing happens, and automatically it goes. And like how I said, today like we are like few members, but you can see like in our community thousands, like lakhs of devotees are doing this. Especially like when Prabhupada went to the West, they were all drunkards and meat eaters and things like that. And if they can get purified by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we are come on, we are still pious souls who are doing mistakes here and there. Definitely, Hare Krishna Mahamantra can cleanses and remove all this garbage from the root, provided you take the process seriously and chant one round at least to start with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And yeah, in this way we see like what are the four antidotes? M, make the intelligence strong. I, involve in the positive engagement. M, never trust a mind. D, delete the previous impressions. Like how I said, any other process it will not help us other than removing the things from the root. Only by this mind, the practical tips. You can, like how I said, it's a science. You can apply it. If it works to you, it has worked for me. That's why I'm here. And that's why I'm telling you all to at least give it a try and see there is no loss. And yeah, with that I'll end today's presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask. Dedicate this presentation to all my superiors and to Prabhupada, because of whom we are actually getting to know these things. See, like definitely we all were aware of majority of the things that we had discussed today, but this is like more of a awareness session. But it's so important to become aware and start following the practices from scriptures, which will help you, which will make mind your best friend. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any questions? Stop there.
Mataji, I have one question.
Yes, Mother.
We didn't talk about